Well, that didn't go as planned. I was going to move the Blazer back to the street, move the Camaro over, just pretty much move the cars around, get the Elko out of the garage, start messing around with the Monte. But the battery's dead. Came out last week, fired right up. This week, it's done. Um, but with the Blazer, just talking to my neighbor about the plans with the PT, and then we talked about the Blazer a little bit. And I was thinking it was head gasket. And he came over, checking the oil, the transmission fluid, and all that. And I was telling him where the leak was coming from, which is pretty much towards the front of the block. There's some transmission cooler lines there and everything. That's where I thought it'd probably be leaking from the head gasket. And then it was bouncing ideas off each other. I was like, maybe it's the water pump. So might check the water pump on here, replace that, and hopefully that fixes the leak. And then we'll go from there. But today, probably move the bike out of the way, put the Blazer on the charger, and then start messing around with the Monte a little bit, probably trying to button up the interior stuff, and we'll go from there. Alright, so took a little bit of a break. I know I came out this morning. I was somewhat motivated to get started on this thing, but it's one of those things, like I haven't been out here messing with the Monte really all month. Well, all May. This might be closer to June. I've really just been focused on the Elko. Got that to somewhat where I wanted. There's still little things here and there. But the Monte, like I said, I stepped away from this for about a month. Haven't even really touched it at all, so I think I'm down to about a month before this car needs to really be dialed in to where I want it to be before I load it up on the trailer and head out to Ohio. So today, it's a fairly nice day out. Just going to be doing some small stuff until I get that motivation back. And I'll get a bunch of people hit me up saying my videos and stuff motivate them. But it's like I just hit that little plateau right now. So I think I got to find that motivation again. But I'm coming out here, working on a little bit, and I left off with the vacuum line. So did get a vacuum line for the brake booster. I'm debating if I just want to try to route that into the intake or get a 90-degree elbow and have a piece come down from the intake, 90 it off, and then plug in there again. Because if I just route it up underneath, it will be bent up a little bit, and I'm not sure how restrictive that little bend will be, but I don't want it messing with anything, so I'm gonna decide on that. I'll probably get that 90-degree little elbow. Other than that, I'll come out here, finish tightening this up. So a blow-off valve, I left it loose. I just placed it on there, so I didn't have parts laying around. So I have to tighten this up. I'll probably zip tie that hose up to those wires so nothing comes down and gets caught by the belt. And I think that's, for the most part, I think that's it from up here. Need to adjust the throttle cable too, because last time I did have it out, it seemed like it was sticking or open a little bit. So I don't want that. I'll probably take, I might have to do it from the pedal itself. But just little stuff today, and then probably tomorrow I might come out and mess with some of the wiring. Like I said, I still have to connect the, well, I need to get a horn, so connect the horn, connect the transmission cooler, so yeah, connect that, and then I have to double check to make sure I hooked up the fans correctly, because when I did the Elko fans, I had them hooked up wrong. It's supposed to be a ground trigger, and I think I had it hooked up as a positive trigger, so I might have to double check, see what I did on the Monte, and I might have to rewire those two relays, but it's not gonna happen today. That'll be later on. And then I think I have enough paint where I clean these up, get these painted. So those obviously go alongside the door, and another one are for the drip trays, and the last one is this trim piece here. So if I were to close these up when I painted, probably would have just deleted that. I know Raymond Walker did that on his Monte. But looks pretty good, but since those holes are open, definitely want to cover those up and finish putting the interior back together. I have the seat belt retractors, so need to put those on. Also need to get seat belts for it, so that's one thing added to the list. I need to lift up the front of the door because it's sagging just a little bit, so I need to lift the door up a little bit, get that to line up, and we should be good as far as body work, or lining up the body and everything. And then put the trim pieces back in the interior. Like I said, that top piece that goes along the headliner, need to put this front one on. I think my sister still has the visor, so I might just skip those for now, and I doubt I'd use them anyway. But yeah, just put some trim pieces back. Need to hit up the guy with the gauge cluster. I know he's been pretty busy. To see where he's at with that. Put this bottom piece on the dash. A little ball cooler vent, even though it's not hooked up, still want to close that up. So need to put that on. Need to get the glove box put back on, and it's getting close. It's getting close, but it's just one of those things. Like, you just hit that plateau. That's why I stepped away, started working on the Elko a little bit. But then it's like the Elko needs work, the Monte needs work. Just found out the problem with the Blazer. I did clean up the garage a little bit. It's not as messy, even though everything's in the back of the Elko. Been looking at some shelves to put back here so I can put a bunch of parts on, get a little bit more organized, but it's just one of those things, like, getting there. The countdown, like I said, it's about a month away from when this video will be out. This is just towards the end of May, so just over a month, but not by much. But yeah, we're gonna get there. Definitely gonna get there. Like I said, the weather's warming up, so we'll get there eventually. But that deadline, like I said, July 13th. We'll be out there. Also, yeah, so that deadline, it's definitely getting up here. A lot faster than I thought. Like I said, it's going to be here before I know it. Have the trailer secured, rooms booked and everything, so we're definitely going to get it out there. Then my buddy Dylan Peterson, he hit me up. He has like over 50 parts cars, Gbodys. He's out in Nebraska, and he asked which route I was going to take. And I was like, hey, no, I might take that route, go by you. He told me to come by, check out his parts car graveyard, and just get some footage there. So that'll be another video in itself. If you guys need parts, see something in the video when I shoot that, just let me know. I can put you in contact with him. I think he ships parts and everything. So like I said, he has over 50 parts cars, so I'm pretty sure he has the parts you're looking for. But I just got to get that motivation back and get out here and knock this car out, because I do want to get it around the neighborhood. Probably take it up to the gas station, fill it up and everything eventually, but I just got to button up all these small parts. So yeah, let me stop talking and just get to it. No, it's not too exciting of a video, but we'll make it happen. Well, I think that's done charging. The PT still charging, so yeah, I'll definitely try to get the water pump replaced on the Blazer soon. The bike needs tires, but like I said, I'm trying to just throw the money into the Monte now, get all the small stuff buttoned up on this, get this ready, start worrying about the trip, and then everything else can be fixed when I get back. Like I said, I'll probably scrap the idea on fiberglass in the dash, because everybody approves of the Grand Prix dash in here. So Yeah. That being said, like I said, I'm gonna tighten up all this stuff. Probably mess around with some of the interior pieces, but nothing too crazy. And then might have the 90 sitting around in the garage somewhere. Because like I said, it's pretty thick, so even just that slight bend in there, I don't think it would affect it too much, but you never know. It feels like that, yeah, but a bend like that, I think I should be able to get away with it, but we'll see. But yeah, that's about it for this one. Just gonna do some small stuff and call it a day, and hopefully tomorrow I'll come out with a little bit more energy and get busy. Alright, so got all this tightened up. No, it's a little win. Well, most of it tightened up. Got the intake tube tightened up. Next thing to do, just tighten up this ball valve. It's nice and tight. Zip tie on these. That should be good. I'm gonna cut it. There we go. Alright, the next thing I'm gonna do, I already started a little bit, so I think I mentioned the throttle cable was getting stuck open, so what I did, just loosened up this bolt or the nut on this bracket. So I think it was pulled back too far. That kept the throttle from closing all the way. Move it up a little bit and it shuts, so just have to find the right position. Pretty much be say right there. You tighten that up and we should be good. Yep. So I know it's just one of those things, you just a little trial and error. I might have to reset the throttle position sensor after this, or I might be good. We'll see. But yeah, it just stuck open a little bit, causing it to want to rev up while you're idling. So really didn't want that. So get that tightened up. Might have to readjust it. Slide this on. Oh, I want that. Throw the throttle back on there. Those double springs are nice. Alright, so yeah, it's a little tight. Something's not right. No, I messed it up here. I think I had some heat shrink or something on it. Yeah, it's all. I want to play fair. Let's see, is it closed? Yeah. Yep. Closing all the way now. It's all tight. I think this is angled down a little bit. So before I think I had it clocked back, but we should be good there. Like I said, maybe next time I fire it up, I might have to reset the throttle position sensor. It might be off a little bit, but for now, That does take that slack away, or that tension off of it that it had. So we should be good there. I think I still need to run a vacuum line from here to the valve cover. So I might have some extra vacuum line laying around, because I think I just did it on the Elco. So we'll try that. Eventually I'll get a catch can for it, but I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. I know everybody's going to say oil's going to get in the intake and all that stuff. I'm not putting that many miles on the car, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, eventually an oil can will find its way up under the hood. I think the last thing I need to double check is that thermostat housing, and then everything under here I think will be buttoned up. Tightened up the transmission pan, so it shouldn't be leaking up under there anymore. Thought I had another mount to this, but I guess not. So I have to figure something out with that. But yeah, like I said, that's it for today. Just thought I was a little bit more motivated than I was. Turned out I wasn't. So motivation will come back. It'll come back eventually. But yeah, that'll probably be it for this one. The next one, like I said, I was looking, and I think I am going to get the 90 for this. So probably be a small section, a hose coming off the intake. There's four ports at the bottom for vacuum, so I think I'm using 2 of them for now. I think one for the boost controller, and then one for the blow-off valve, and then this one would obviously go to one of the larger ones. The map sensor connects in the back, so I have 2 open ones up underneath, and this one will just go to 1, so it'll be a little bit of hose, and I'll get the 90-degree fitting, and then run the rest of it into the brake booster. Probably could get away with the bend like that. I just don't want to chance it actually being more like that. So yeah, we'll get that 90 on here, and we'll go from there. But as far as today goes, we'll call it a day. That lock still giving me a few problems. Need a few adjustments on it, but I'm calling it a day.